Hello. In this home training video, we're going to be looking at a simple footwork exercise just using a tennis ball. To make these videos a bit shorter, all of the information you need to know and the health and safety advice before taking part in any activities I explain are now in the description, so do make sure you look at the description of the video before taking part in anything I'm showing here. So, in this footwork exercise, simplest way to start it off, simply from your on guard position and in the supinated position, so that means palm up, and you're simply going to take a step. As you step, throw the ball in the air, catch it before your step ends. So you're just stepping forwards, catching the ball, like so. Now you can do that forwards, you can also start doing that backwards. So, advice, try not to do it on the carpeted floor, you're going to have a lot more friction, so using a smooth concrete surface or laminate flooring, those kind of things, just make sure nothing breaks or you're not going to injure yourself or damage anything around you. So yeah, simplest way, just throwing the ball up in the air, moving back and forth, catching it as you go. Now, once you've got the hang of that, you've got your hand-eye coordination in, you can start making this exercise a little more challenging. So instead of just throwing the ball a short distance, vary the distance each time. So if you throw it further, you now have to take more steps before catching the ball. Obviously build it up gradually, don't just lob the ball far distance, and mix it up. So sometimes it'll be small, sometimes big, trying to keep control of the ball, catching it every time. Don't overexert yourself straight away. Try and keep your eye level focused on where your opponent will be. Don't watch the ball up and down, you need to have faith in your throw that the ball will come back into your eye line. And as well, you can also start throwing it back with more distance to cover, like so. Once you've got the hang of just simply throwing it above you, you can then, providing the tennis ball's going to be bouncy enough, you can start bouncing it to the floor and doing a similar exercise. You can bounce it in front of you, step. You can also bounce it if you aim towards your foot instead of bouncing forwards. You can bounce it back so that way you can retreat and try and step and catch the ball. I did drop my eyes on that one. Again, way to make that a bit more challenging. Instead of bouncing the ball in one particular direction, so you know which way it's going to do, bounce the ball straight down and then react to what happens. So you're bouncing the ball straight down, so I step back, step forwards, just trying to react to the ball as if it's now having a bit of mind of its own, as if it's an opponent. If you have an appropriate wall-based surface, so if you've got a garden fence, for example, don't do anything so it goes with the neighbours, or an appropriate wall surface, you can also bounce the ball low, so it bounces back to you, aiming for the low part of the wall, with the bounce back up at you. Like so. Not the best situation in my room here, but what you can do there is you can do it so it's going to be coming at the same distance every time. Hopefully, if you get it right. And just simply lunging and catching the ball. Or you can do it so that you don't know what distance it's going to be. So you change the angle that you bounce the ball into. You may need to step forwards. You can also bounce it from further away, so you then have to chase the ball in. Various different ways you can make this exercise a bit more challenging. I should have also said you don't need to have the ball here. You can as well bounce the ball in front of you, but bouncing it further in front of you. And that way you can also work on your lunge. Hopefully you didn't see that one, it went off camera, but I did fail to catch it. So you can bounce the ball further in front of you. I'm really mucking them up now. We'll take one more try. There we go. So simple footwork exercise you can do. Make it as challenging as you like for yourselves. Something you can do every day, just a little bit to keep the mind, body active. Once again, if you've got any questions, do let me know. Otherwise, see you in the next video. Thank you.